Given what they lost, are you surprised they're here again?
If we talked in August, for sure. You think about when we walked out of that national championship in Tampa and we were looking at that team and that celebration. You think about some of those players that walked off that field and never see them in a Clemson uniform again, led by Deshaun. And then with Florida State having the team that they had coming back on paper, I think everybody, unless you're a Clemson fan, thought that Florida State would end up being the team to beat. And then, of course, the DeAndre Francois injury and other things that happened for Florida State, and here came Clemson. To their credit, the thing that's remarkable is they didn't lose their edge. Sometimes when you climb the mountain, you finally get there, you're just human nature, you lose a little bit. They didn't at all. And give Kelly Bryant a lot of credit for dealing with the pressure to fill the shoes of Deshaun Watson. And you can just really, when you look back at what they accomplished this year, now who knows what's ahead of them. But up to this point, I think as an outsider, I'm blown away by what they've done.
Chris, you've seen this Hurricane team, how well they played at Hard Rock. You've been there.
Oh, yeah.
What do they have to do that outside of Miami and be the team that can, kind of upset?
Well, I think first, what I've seen from Miami is they seem to play up or down to the opponent that they're playing. So I'll be shocked if they don't come out playing the way they played in Hard Rock, even though this is going to be probably a home field advantage for Clemson. I think they're going to come out with a chip on their shoulder. They're going to come out and play, especially defensively, as if they're ready to shock the world kind of attitude. We'll see if it's going to be good enough, but the team that we all watched the day after Thanksgiving, kind of lethargic and just going through the motions, will not be the team that takes the field when they play Clemson.
Hey, Kurt, talk about the Miami running game. What do they have to do to establish that running game against that Clemson defense?
Well, they've got to run the quarterback. They got to be able to get him going because it's going to be very tough for them to run the football against that front. The Miami offensive line is a little bit of a microcosm of the team. Mm-hmm. There's some weeks you watch them and you're like, man, they don't get much of a push. They're just not a dominant physical offensive line. And just when you're ready to give up on them, they play Virginia Tech and they move people around. They play Notre Dame and they move people around. Quarterback's got to be a factor. If they're going to run the ball at all, and we're sitting here talking about the post game, well, how did Miami do it? I guarantee that Rozier is going to end up having a game where he runs it 10 to 12 times and has like 70 yards, and he's decisive with his decision making. I think those will be the big things that stand out.
Do you think Miami should have a quick start right away, like they did against
I think
like Notre Dame?
I think if they want to win, because again, Clemson is a team because of their style. They are on top of you right now, and if they gain momentum early, and now you got to play catch up, you kind of play into the hands of what they want from you because of their tempo. So if Miami has ideas of winning this game, yeah, that first 8 to 10 minutes of this game will be crucial for them. Sorry, guys.
Kirby, first time being in Charlotte with game day, the excitement around the city. I mean, I know there's a college team here, but the excitement around being in Charlotte for the first time, ACC being relevant in the national picture.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
It's cool. It's great to be here. I've always come in from Atlanta or from Indianapolis, from the other championship sites, so to have an opportunity to be here on Friday and kind of take in some of the energy and excitement. It's a great city, great weather, and two great teams coming in, and so much at stake. If you're a fan of this city or a citizen, you can't ask for much more for an ACC championship. This is perfect.
What's turned the ACC around? 6, 7, 8 years ago, people were worried ACC in terms of football quality. What's turned it?
I think coaching. I think recruiting. I think caliber of athlete is at a much higher level. I think they've had some big wins out of conference, some big wins in bowl games. Players that are going to the NFL. Everybody always pulls out, that chart of how many players are in the NFL from the SEC, and the ACC is like, wait a second, look at our chart. So I think all those things have really allowed this conference to gain a ton of momentum, and I think a ton of respect. I think before it was kind of that conference that at times was forgotten, and that's no longer the case. And I think it's the big wins, what Florida State's done, what Clemson's done. Here comes Miami. It's really good stuff.
Kirk, you mentioned Florida State a couple